1. This is the finishing up of your review. Remember, on Monday you will be given a piece of paper that you can write anything down on from the review or anything else you wanted to use. So what we're going to do on this particular one, I want to plug this one in here. So I'm going to get negative 3 times negative 1 minus 12. So that gives you positive 3 minus 12. So the answer is negative 9. Okay. Again, just keep tabs on all the stuff we've been doing so you can work through it. Number 21, you want us to figure out the y-intercept. Well, if I can solve this to look like this equation, I'm going to find the y-intercept because that'll be y-intercept. All right, subtract. So on this one, we're going to subtract 5x from both sides. Those cancel out, so we get negative 2y equals negative 5x plus 10. Divide both sides by negative 2. So y equals 5 over 2x minus 5. So your y-intercept, this is your y-intercept right here. Number 22. They want to know, what is the slope of a horizontal line? Remember, a horizontal line looks like this. So your slope has to be equal to 0 for a horizontal. If it was a vertical line, though, the slope is undefined. And it didn't ask that, but you might want to make note of both of those in your paper. Number 23, we want to write the equation. So I have y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to plug m in here, b in here, and it's done. There's my equation. Number 24, we want to find the slope. So I'm going to list it x1, y1, x2, y2. My slope is going to be y2 minus y1, so 1 minus negative 8, x2 minus x1. That's going to be a plus. So I'm going to get 9 over 3, which reduces just to 3. Number 25, they want you to graph this. Okay, so let's do the cover method. 0, comma, blank, blank, comma, 0. Okay, remember this is an x value, so ignore this x. So you just have negative 2y equals 2. Divide both sides by negative 2, so you get negative 1. And then the second one, this is a y value, so you ignore this. So you get negative x equals 2. Multiply both sides by negative 1, so you get negative 2. So you're going to look for the graph that goes 0, negative 1, and 2, negative 2, 0. Whatever graph matches up with that. Number 26, when we want to graph x equals 5 is a vertical line. Looks just like this. So you might want to make note, if it was y equals 5, and I know this is not a problem that's on your paper, but you might want to just have it, this is going to be like this. Okay, so this is the answer we're looking for that problem, but you might want to make note of that on your piece of paper on Monday. Number 27, we want to find a solution to the inequality. So all I have to do on this one is I'm going to take my values, I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to try negative 2 comma negative 3 first. This is an x and a y. So I'm going to get 2 times negative 2 plus 4 times negative 3. Is that greater than 10? Is negative 4 minus 12, is that greater than 10? That's no, so that doesn't work. Try the next.
Can I bring a student down here to...
Then I'm going to try the next point. 1 comma 2. Remember, this is an x and y, so plug it in. 2 times 1 plus 4 times 2. Is that greater than 10? So 2 plus 8. Is that greater than 10? Well, 10 is not greater than 10. It's equal to it, so that's no. So then let's try the next one. So I'm going to try 0 comma 0, see if it works. So 2 times 0 plus 4 times 0. Is that greater than 10? Is 0 greater than 10? No. So just to verify, let's use that very last point, 5 comma 2. Remember, that's an x and y. So you're going to get 2 times 5 plus 4 times 2. Is that greater than 10? Is 10 plus 8 greater than 10? Yes, this one works. Just plugging in the points to see if they work. All right, we're going to try this next one. This is going to be a cover method as well. So 0 comma blank, blank comma 0. So this is an x value, so ignore the x, so you get negative 2y equals 8. Divide both sides by negative 2, so you get negative 4. And then this here is a y value, so I get negative x equals 8. Multiply both sides by negative 8, so you get negative 8 here. And if you graph this, 0, negative 4 is down here. Negative 8, 0 is back here. So figure out which equation looks like that. Number 29, we want to graph this. Well, this is my y-intercept. And then my slope is this, so I'm going to go down 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right 4. Connect the dots, figure out which graph that matches up to best. Number 30, this is the inequality. So we're going to go ahead and graph this like normal. So I know I have a positive 4 here. And my slope is going to be down 1, right 2. It's an inequality. It has an equal sign, so I'm going to keep it as a solid line. If there wasn't the equal sign, don't do that. Check to see if 0 comma 0 works. That's underneath the line. So I'm going to get 0 is less than or equal to negative 1/2 times 0 plus 4. So if 0 is less than 4, that's true. Shade the side that the 0, 0 is on. Of course, they did it nicer on the paper. 31. So on this one, x and y, so you got 1 and 1 here and here. It's going to be a solid line because you have the equal sign. Try 0, 0. 0, 0 is underneath the line. So 0 plus 0 is 0 greater than 1? No. So shade the side that the 0, 0 is not on. 32. Rewrite in slope-intercept form. Remember, this is slope-intercept form. So I want y by itself. So I'm going to subtract x. Those cancel, so negative 3y equals negative x minus 3. Divide everything by negative 3. Those cancel, so y equals 1 over 3x plus 1. So figure out which one that works for. Number 33, we want to figure out, so this is my slope. Slope is equal to 2/3. And we want to figure out the equation that has parallel slopes. So parallel slopes are the same. Okay, so look for which equation or which slope would be 2/3. Parallel is going to be the exact same. 34. Again, here's my slope. That's 4/5. So I want parallel, so that'll mean that'll be the same. So look for the equation that has 4/5 as a slope. So remember, we're looking for something that has 4/5 in the x spot. I don't care what everything else is. I'm looking at what's attached to x. 35, we want to find the perpendicular slope. So this is my slope right now. The perpendicular slope, that upside down team, it's going to have to be negative because it was positive up here, and I'm going to flip it over. So this could also be written as negative 2, so figure out which answer that works with. 36. What is perpendicular? So first thing I have to do is I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I get y equals 4x plus 7 over 2. Your slope is 4. So what I want to do is I want the perpendicular slope. So it's a positive 4 here. It's going to be negative here. This is 4 over 1, so make this 1 over 4. So figure out which equation has 1 over 4 in the m spot. You want, this needs to be negative 1/4 in the equation, the m value next to the x. 37, which line passes through? Okay, things to remember. If x equals 0, then this value here is b. So ready? Y equals mx plus b. So y equals 7x, because that's their slope, plus 12. Done. So that's pretty simple. You have to make sure that has to be a 0 for this type of thing to work. 38, rewrite in slope-intercept form. So I want to make this look like y equals mx plus b, so I don't want parentheses. So I'm going to distribute over. So I'm going to get negative 3 times x, negative 3x, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Subtract 5, subtract 5. Those cancel, so y equals negative 3x plus 7. That's your equation. Number 39. Okay, things that we have to look at. Is this and this, are those values the same? They're both y values, correct? They're the same. If the y values are the same, then your equation's just this. You don't have to do anything more. Now, make note of this. Let's say you had 3, 7 and 3, 4. The x values are the same. So your answer is going to be x equals 3. So that's not on your paper, but you might want to make note of that. Number 40. We want to figure out which equation goes through both sets of those points. So again, this is 0 right here, so you know that that has to be b. So far I know y equals mx plus b, so I know y equals mx minus 1. So if you look at your choices, you probably eliminate 2 of the choices pretty quick because there's only 2 of them that has -1. Now I want to find the slope, so I'm going to x1, y1, x2, y2. So my slope equation is going to be 0 minus -1 over 4 minus 0. So I'm going to get 1 over 4 is the slope. I'm going to take the slope, plug it in right there. So y equals 1 over 4x minus 1, and it's done. Number 41. So all you have to do on this is let's graph both lines. I'll graph this one first. So -1 is the y-intercept. Slope is up 2, right 1. So we do this. And then the other one, we can do a purple. That's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go down 1, right 2. So look for the graph. We had the graph that was given to you. So let's see where this intersects. And this looks like it's at 2, 1, 2, 3. So it looks right 2 and up 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So we have that answer. So just graph both. Graph them really well and see where they cross each other. And then 42, all I need you to do on this is I literally need you to look at just the answers. So we're going to try this. I want this answer to work on both. So that's x and y. So I'm going to plug it into this first one. I'm going to get -4 minus 1. Is that equal to -3? This is not going to work. Okay, so that means the first answer can't work. So let's try the next one. 1, -4. Remember, this is an x, this is a y. So let's plug those values in. So I'm going to get -4 plus 1. Is that equal to -3? It works here. Let's also try it on this equation as well. So I'm going to get 5 times 1 minus 4. Is that equal to -3? So that's 5 minus 4. That is not equal to -3. So that doesn't work. So we're just trying to figure out which one's is going to work on. So I'm going to try -1 and 4. So let's plug those in here. So I'm going to get -1 plus 4. Is that equal to -3? That's not. So I'm looking for the point that works on both. So it obviously has to be the last answer. So let's just verify the last answer does indeed work. That's an x, that's a y. Let's plug them in. So I'm going to get -4 minus 1. Oops. I think I made a mistake someplace. Let me just go back and double check my work. I'll check my work with a hot pink. Make sure I did it right. So this first one, -4, -1, that definitely doesn't work. This one works here. 5, -4, that doesn't work. -1 plus 4, that doesn't work. -1. I don't think we have an answer. I don't have an answer. But what you do is you go through and make sure they all work. So this one just didn't particularly work. What you want to do on these is you want to make sure you plug this into both equations, and you do it for all of your points to see which one works. We just made a mistake. This one didn't quite work out the way we wanted to. Remember, note sheet can be used. I will give you a sheet of paper on Monday that you can use on the final. Okay? Make sure you have this packet done, because if you turn this packet in to me on the day of the final, you will get the curve that we figure out goes with the test. If you don't get the curve. So you want to make sure you get the curve. Have a nice day, everybody.